So your French horn's not working. The top 3 reasons that French horns come into the repair shop are the valves are not working and they're sluggish, the tuning slides get stuck, and lastly, believe it or not, broken solders. Oiling French horn valves can be an intimidating prospect at first, but with just a little bit of guidance I can show you how to do it. Let's take a look. So first and foremost, you will notice that I am using a light rotor oil. There is many different types of rotor oils out there for you to use. Most of them come with a needle, and the needle is for getting into those spindles in those tight, close areas. If you see here, and I'm going into this gap, and that's where the oil needs to go. It's on the spindle of the valve. So here's what the valve looks like outside of the instrument in its entirety. You'll notice that it has a top and a bottom spindle of these 2 stems, and then a large section in the middle. What's important is to make sure the oil gets all the way around the 2 spindles. Here is how you get it to the 2 spindles. You apply it here, and this little crease right here. Let's take the cap off. This is where the bottom spindle is. You'll actually see as you depress the valve, it will rotate. Place it there so that the oil can go through. If at this point it's still not moving, you could then use that needle to bypass your tuning slide. You're going to look for the associated tuning slide. Pull that tuning slide out. You're going to be sure that the drop goes clear and straight through to the rotor, not touching the sides. If it touches the side, you run the risk of dragging that very thick tuning slide grease all the way into the rotor, which will slow it down for you. Give it a couple rotations and feel free to drop a couple more times, and you'll be good to go. While we have the tuning slide out, as we were talking through our valve oil, let's go ahead and cover tuning slide grease. It's very simple. You just take 1 drop here and here. Just 1 drop or 2. It will not take much. You spread a little bit on your finger and you're good to go. You have a lot of tuning slides, so make sure as I'm pointing through these that you get all of them. If you have oiled your valves, your rotors, as well as your slides, and something still isn't moving, then it's time to get it cleaned. There are 2 types of cleaning. The first is a preventative cleaning. This is the kind of cleaning your band directors and professional musicians teach their students to do. You've probably heard this song and dance before. It's lukewarm water and soap and water, and making sure you thoroughly rinse out all of the soap residue that's in your instrument. Every 3 or 4 years, you will need a professional cleaning. This is not the preventative cleaning. This is with an ultrasonic bath and professional grade chemicals that are low base acids that are used to eat away the things that are sticking onto and corroding your valves and your slides. These will go in for a hard cleaning. Tubes will get brushed. Feel free to ask your local repair technician what a professional cleaning looks like. Lastly, we have broken solders. Solders will run rampant through a French horn if we don't catch them early. The number 1 thing that French horns need in our repair shop are broken solders. And let me show you why. Here we have a professional player holding their instrument. As you can see, it is very, very easy as you're notating on your music, or as you're leaning over to grab something out of a bag, to put pressure on this tuning slide. Once that happens over and over, a solder will give way in that tuning slide. Here you can see an example of a solder that has given way to this very treatment of the instrument. It is a very common thing for new players to not realize as they're handling a heavy instrument and haven't developed the muscles to hold it yet. Once one goes, another is soon to follow. As soon as you notice a broken solder on your instrument, we need to get it handled as fast as possible. 1 will lead to 2, 2 will lead to 3, and before you know it, your instrument will be in both hands in 2 separate pieces. Dive deeper in this playlist for more content and information with Notably Creative.